to Success Nation. I'm your host, Gary Ernest. Today we're talking about following your callings, understanding who you are, and be a contributing citizen to the earth. Because sometimes we say to ourselves, let's say you go to a career fair. People telling you all the great things you will become once you follow the path they are selling you. Well, you're already doubtful about yourself, so therefore you go with whatever somebody else has sold you. There's nothing wrong with that. But you realize that is not, you don't belong there. You don't belong there. You don't feel right being in that position. Then you said to yourself, come on, well, I don't know what's going on here. Well, I'm going to tell you what's going on there. What's going on here. You are in the wrong place. Because sometimes we have our mothers and our fathers telling us this is what we should be. But we know deep down inside that's not what we want to be. That is not the profession, that is not the talent that we have. We know the truth. But we decide, you know what? I'm going to make my mother and I'm going to make my father proud. But we don't. When we get to the place, sometime 20 years later, we realize that we were in the wrong place. Some people realize it earlier than that, but most of the times, some people realize that they're in the wrong place 20 years later. And what you have to understand is this, because once you follow the wrong calling, because sometimes people make you doubt yourself. Sometimes people feel like, you know what, I don't want this. I don't think you should do it. And then you listen to them. They try to tell you what they don't think you should do. And you listen to what they say for real. You think those people, they sometimes people are authority. Sometimes they just regular Joes. You just don't believe in yourself. So you listen to what everybody else is saying to you without you listening to yourself. Without you listening to yourself, and you just like, you know what? I'm gonna get this done. I want it. I'm gonna do it. But you don't realize that you are following the wrong path. Sometimes we meet people. And then we're talking to them and they see our talents, but they are envious and jealous about it. They would start telling you everything that is wrong being you. And if you're not a strong-minded person, what you will do, you will feel that being who you are is wrong. Sometimes people will tell you everything that is wrong with the people who possess the same talent, people who have the same talent as you. They will say, you know what? These people they're no good. They will tell you everything that's not good, and you say to yourself, if that's what it is to be this thing, I don't want to be it. I don't want to do it. But maybe you are the game changer that is coming to change that profession. Maybe you're that one person that would come with a theory that would change that profession. But because you decide not to jump in, because of people's analysis of your talent, you stop. Sometimes you stop midway. Sometimes you stop before you even get to the door. But you don't say to yourself, you don't know that you were the game changer. You didn't realize that your talent would change that profession forever. Sometimes we look at people that jump into politics. You say to yourself, this guy is not cut out for politics. This guy is not a politician. He doesn't know how to do politics. But you don't realize that that person you say that doesn't know how to do politics will change the game of politics forever. That person will change the way you see political leaders forever. You see? Sometimes all you have to do is listen to that calling and walk. Make that first step. Take that first step. Take it. Don't worry about what's going to happen. Because your presence in that institution will change that institution for the better. Your presence in that institution will change it for the better. Regardless of what happened once you take that first step. Whether you're born to be a politician, whether you're always trying to be in business, trying to do something other than yourself, and you realize your presence alone can change that thing for the better. Sometimes people change things without them knowing that they can change it. That's the reality of things for real. Sometimes we look at bad people. We look at people, even in politics. We look at some political leaders, we're like, man, this person doesn't even know what he's talking about. She doesn't know what she's talking about. But every time that person opens his mouth or her mouth, the world changes for the better. Listen to me again. Every time that person opens his or her mouth, the world changes for the better. So what are you saying to yourself? You may think that the person is wrong, but if you're wrong, it's changing the world for the better, then you are better. If you're wrong, it's changing the world for the better. Don't worry about what they're saying. Keep moving. Keep it moving. Because sometimes a negative character could bring the world into a balance where we see the goodness and the bad in people. Where we see people for who they are. Sometimes we look at political leaders, we say to ourselves, what is she saying? What is she doing, man? Come on. Sometimes we look at our boss, we're like, man, I don't know, man. I don't see how this thing is going to happen. And you realize that the presence of that person can bring the best out of all of us. Understand this again. Sometimes the people you think are bad characters are just there so you can change for the better. So understand what I'm saying to you. I know right now you say to yourself, come on, G, I don't know what you're talking about right now. Because how can bad people cause the world to change for the better? Because sometimes good people would not speak up. Sometimes the people we consider to be good will not speak up. Sometimes the people we think are bad people, actually, they are flamethrowers. They are throwing flames at the situation so that the situation can change for the better. Sometimes people don't want to jump in the fight. But their presence alone can make the fight better. So if you decide to yourself, you're saying to yourself right now, I don't know what my calling is. I don't know. I don't have a calling. And I'm going to tell you are wrong. Because every single one of us, we have a talent. We have something we can contribute to this planet. We have something we can bring to the planet that to make the planet a better place. Every single one of us can play our part in making this world a better place. Because you were born with something special. You are a special being. You are a special person. You just have to listen to your calling. Because regardless of the noise, regardless of the fact that people have made you feel like, you know what? Your talent is worthless. So because they make you feel like your talent is worthless, you decide to say to yourself, you know what? This is not for me. I'm not going to do anything anymore. I do not like to be in this position, so therefore let me give up. That's what you would say to yourself. But what I'm saying to you is, as long as you're a game changer, do not give up. Because your presence alone can change the world for the better. And I've said it again. You have political leaders right now. We may think they are crazy. We may think they don't know what they're doing. We may think that, you know what, this person doesn't know what the person is doing. But I'm going to tell you this. That person's presence is changing the world for the better. Sometimes it's not what you say. Sometimes it's just who you are. Sometimes that's all you have to be. Because anytime people can trigger you to change your life for the better, that person is a plus. Sometimes you have that one friend who will tell you everything you want to hear that'll make you feel good. Sometimes you have those, they say things that'll make you feel good while you are sinking. While you are dying, your friend is making you feel good, and you have that one friend everybody hates. That one friend, every time that person comes to the party, people are like, man, I don't know what he's doing here, man. Here we go again. But that one friend is the friend that you said to yourself, man, I know you're going to tell me like it is. And your friend said, listen, man, I'm not here to please you. I'm not here to make you feel good. But, man, you need to change this. You need to change your life, man. This thing is wrong. You be like, wait a minute, man. Well, you know what? Jane, Joe, everybody just tell me that it was bad. So you come in here, you try to mess up things. You always have something bad to say about things. But all you have to do is listen. Forget about the noise that you hear. Forget about the echo chamber that you know in your life. Forget about it. But listen and see if what that person is saying is true. And then you realize that because that person had told you the truth, you are able to change your life for the better. You're able to listen. And then when you listen, you're like, wow, it ain't that bad after all. Well, it was never bad. You thought it was bad, but it was never bad. It was you who thought that. Because people have told you, people have made you feel good for so long, you don't realize that you had a pacifier in your mouth. The pacifier was preventing you from crying. The pacifier was preventing you from making noise. The pacifier was preventing you from taking action. Because we have pacifiers in our mouth, we stop talking. We don't see what's wrong with it or anything around us. We do not see what's wrong. Because we've been fed, we've been given a pacifier to keep ourselves quiet. Sometimes the person you think is wrong, the person you think is bad, is actually the one that's going to help you change your life. It may not be a pleasant situation. It may not be the most pleasant situation in your life. It may be this one person that every time they open their mouth, somebody want to fix something. Now listen to what I said again. It's that one person every time they come around, everybody hates that person. But every time they open their mouth, we want to fix something. And we want to fix it for the better. You see, I'm going to tell you, if you want to change your life, do not go with the person that'll give you a pacifier. If you want to hear that calling, do not go with that person that'll tell you you are comfortable where you are. Do not take action to change anything. You're just going to have to get up and make it happen. You just have to get up and say, you know what? Today I'm going to change. Today I'm going to listen to who I am, not who you want me to be. That's what you have to say to yourself. You have to change your life for the better for who you are, not who they want you to be. Because sometimes we hear that calling, but we are afraid. We are afraid of what would come. We are afraid of what we do not know. Sometimes that fear use it to take action. Because if you use that fear to take action, guess what's going to happen? You will take action. Thank you for listening. This is Success Nation. I'm your host, Gary Erner. Today we're talking about listening to your calling and take action. We'll be right back.